This was the scene at the Penn State Sheep Farm this spring, where just over a dozen volunteers from Blue Mountain Quality Resource planted over 400 native shrubs along Spring Creek. But this isn't the first planting to take place. Over the past several years, ClearWater has been involved in helping with the Penn State Sheep Farm Restoration Project. It has joined a list of partners that include the Spring Creek chapter of Trout Unlimited, the Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission, the Department of Environmental Protection, the Center County Conservation District, and the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. In fact, the Spring Creek chapter of Trout Unlimited initiated the project when it asked Penn State to do some in-stream work, and the project has grown from there. For the past 2 years, ClearWater has worked at the Penn State Sheep Farm as part of its Beatty Memorial Arbor Day celebration. The day is ClearWater's way of honoring two of its past presidents, Alice and George Beatty. It celebrates the passion that these two key figures in the ClearWater organization had. In the past, the memorial event has ranged from speakers to educational programs and most recently to large-scale tree plantings. This was the second year that the Beatty Memorial Arbor Day planting took place at the Penn State Sheep Farm, but before any planting could be done, the stream bank fencing had to be pushed back.
The reason that we wanted to push the fence back and not let it just be on the stream, we wanted to make sure that we were able to plant a riparian buffer. And riparian simply is just the area between, it's an area that's influenced by its proximity to water. It's different because it's near water.
So after the fencing was pushed back an average of 40 feet, the riparian buffer could be planted. As part of 2 Eagle Scouts projects, and with the help of many volunteers, 225 trees were planted on the downstream section of the property. And in the fall, another 125 trees were planted on the upstream section. All of the trees and shrubs that were planted made up the Sheep Farm's riparian buffer. Katie highlighted why this buffer is so important.
Is creating a filter strip so that anything that's happening in the upland area, whether it's livestock, if you have livestock, or if you have stormwater runoff, or if it's just lawn, you want to be able to have any stormwater that runs through that buffer to be able to be filtered. And other things that the riparian buffer does is provides terrestrial habitat for animals, wildlife that like the riparian areas. So you have lots of different species, lots of wildlife species, plant species that really do best and thrive, and some of them they require that kind of habitat. So we want to be able to provide that, and the wider the buffer, the better the habitat.
And the important thing to remember is the reason why ClearWater and all the agencies and volunteers involved in the Penn State Sheep Farm Restoration Project do this work.
And you can see very quickly when an area does not have a riparian buffer how dramatically different not only the banks of the stream but also the substrate immediately there and downstream. Also in areas where there are riparian buffers, you'll notice a lot of different types of songbirds and things that are more obvious, whether they're there or they're absent.
If you are interested in getting involved in a restoration project, or for more information, visit ClearWater's website at www.clearwaterconservancy.org or call the office at 814-237-0400.